Hello guys, I'm the Broken Gamer and welcome to another visual novel, only this one's called Seduce Me. And it's a by Seraphim Entertainment and it was free on Steam, so if you want to play this game you can. It's 100% free from what I know. And let's go with new game. This is a fictional, interactive narrative. Any character resemblances to real-life people is purely coincidental. Okay? Also, please note that the following game is made for PG-16 audiences. Please note that sexual violent themes are explored in this game. Trigger warning, abuse, implied rape, and suicide. You have been warned. So yeah, if you're sensitive to those subjects or you're under 16, well, if you're under 16 you should have someone with you. If you're sensitive to abuse, rape, and suicide and stuff like that, or violent stuff and stuff like that, then this is not what you should be watching. Either that or watch with caution. This does say you have been warned, so you cannot say you weren't warned about this. Please enjoy.
Why, hello. My, aren't you a gorgeous sight?
Me?
Can I be honored enough to know your name?
I'm not gorgeous, no. I'll be broken.
A lovely name for a lovely person like you. Wonderful.
Eric, do your job.
Very well. This game was produced by Seraphim Entertainment under the direction of Michaela Laws and is powered by Ren'Py Visual Novel Engine. We truly hope you'll enjoy this story. I know I'll enjoy it since you'll be in it.
Eric.
Fine.
Somewhere?
Come on! Is that all you got?
Wanna try me, asshole?
Oh yeah, there's strong language in this game apparently too.
Crap! Missed.
Let's retreat for now.
No kidding. Let's get out of here.
That's right. You better run, you stupid punks! Stay out of our territory!
Call it fate or call it coincidence. That one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory. It is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used by option marketers, though there are some discrepancies that are now corrected with the modern viewpoint.
Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here. But it is the season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. Personally, I love the sound of it. The way the raindrops fell, the soft tapping of my fingers. It's so soothing. Even looking at the droplets hit the glass of the window is strangely calming. For this reason, I felt lucky for having a seat next to the window, though I did spend more time staring outside than I did paying attention in class. The lectures in class were pretty boring. Miss Phillips' voice wasn't so horrific, but it wasn't I was interested. Miss Phillips' voice wasn't so horrific, but I just wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was the period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I didn't really care much for economics. Sure, I had good grades in this class, but it's only because I read the textbook and did my assignments as I had to. I was only taking this class because it was mandatory. If it were up to me, I'd probably have taken another course. Luckily, it was my senior year, so after this semester, it would mean the end of high school courses forever. Thank God for that. I didn't hate high school. It was just to kind of maintain how days drifted on and on as if there were no end to it. The only thing I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them. But that was kind of it. In short, I was done with high school. The start of the second semester brought a note of finality to it. I had already applied to many universities the semester prior, and I was expecting to apply sometime within the next few months. It seemed like the start of something that would change. That is, if things could change. I stared at the faint outline of the raindrops in the distance for now. For now, I was stuck in class.
Miss Anderson.
Yes? Miss Philip raised her voice, interrupting my train of thought. Just while I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because she knows that I was spacing out. Yes, ma'am?
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
Oh, I think I read it in the textbook last night. It should be the Black-Scholes model formula?
Very good as always, Miss Anderson.
Anderson. It followed me everywhere I went. Most people don't really know me by first name rather than my surname. No doubt, since the surname was the trademark of the internationally famous and philanthropic Anderson family toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather. Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch on the shoulder.
Kick ass, girl.
From beside me, I heard Naomi, one of my other best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Zuzu's choice of words.
She means good job.
Miss Capini.
Oi!
Care to tell me who the creators of this formula were?
Some guys named Black and Scholes. Fisher Black and Myron Scholes.
Very good, Miss Patterson.
Show off. Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched in her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now.
Yay, we get to work on a project. Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi scooted their desks to align with mine, and we turned into the Three Musketeers. Nice. Whenever the teacher let the students decide on their own groups, we always grouped together in our little trio. It was sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity and stick together as much as we could. Besides, we were most comfortable around each other than, say, compared to being around any other classmate. It made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we were working on and rolled onto the 3 desks. We were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we still have a few details, a few finishing touches here and there. After working on making the poster a bit pretty, we sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She lazily tapped on a pencil on her chin, staring intently at the project.
Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
Suzu straightened up and looked at the poster, stroking her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened up as she spoke up.
How about a company name? Huh? Did we really skip over that? Of course we did.
You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact. We need a name for our project.
At least we caught it this time. What do we name it?
Not sure. What do you think?
It always came down to me. Whenever there was something to be named or titled, I was the master and the ending decision, even if I didn't want it to be.
I like Trinity Corporations.
That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company?
What do dragons have to do with our project?
What? It's a totally unpredictable name. It's hot.
But our company sells bubblegum.
Who said we can't produce spicy bubblegum?
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
Both of them looked at me, expecting me, even though I wasn't quite sure myself. I didn't want to choose sides, but if it were up to me, I would say, they both sound good, so I'll go with Trinity.
Bah, fine. Be lame.
Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what?
As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Huh? Who was that?
Ignore it. It's just Lisette.
I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with her circle of friends, mostly composed of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in school. As a result, everyone in the school knew them. In the center of it was that White. She sat with a posture that indicated that she was still working, but she also was ready to casually chat about her day. I was never popular in high school, and I guess the popular kids kind of annoyed me, but I wasn't popular. I was pretty much a loner. I sat by myself like all the time, so I can't say that they were bad, but I just didn't have that many friends, so I don't know what that would be like, so. I guess, suppose in a way it did kind of annoy me that there were so many people that had friends and I kind of only had like one at the time. So, she had an enduring balance of charismatic and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was the student everyone else wanted to be. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do right after high school. And as a result, she was confident and ambitious, though sometimes it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but it ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. And of course, my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. It's about time! Let's bail!
Unsurprisingly, Zuzu was the first one out of the classroom, slinging her book bag over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out the door. Oh, I wished I could get on my history class that fast.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first forest went out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
I want to say you and me both, but I wish I was that fast. Naomi folded her arms close to her chest and gave me a disappointed look.
Oh, not you too. She's turning you into a delinquent.
It's a joke, Naomi.
Well, it's not really funny.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
I do have to admit I was spacing out. And just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
That is true, they're like polar opposites. Despite this, they both burst into laughter. Normally, anyone would think the opposites like them wouldn't ever associate with each other, but even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Yeah, I know me and my best friend are opposites in some things, but we get along pretty well. We've been best friends for over, for so long I can't even keep track. Maybe they were the perfect complements. Our personality just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends since preschool.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
You do like spicy food after all. Yeah, I can't do spicy foods. I don't like spicy. We enter the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with aromas of different foods of all kinds. We got in line and ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy!
Oh yeah, I'm crazy.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
I think I'll go with neither of what they're having sounds good to me, so I'll just go with mac and cheese and soda. That sounds good. Once we got our food and settled down on one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Susan leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so she could rest her feet on the table by her food.
Alright then, is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know, let's talk about...
Say boys and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Or girlfriend?
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
True.
That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, it really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more of there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there were not that many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting me to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafeteria started up, and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Ooh, what'd I do?
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
Funny enough, something did happen. And it certainly was no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies have turned dark, and though I couldn't see any of it under my black umbrella, not that I was looking up, in fact. Looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass beneath my feet. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. Aww. It was when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. Oh, grandpappy! A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't know were related to me, were huddled around a simple small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 6. His face was emotionless. A strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. Oh, I'm sorry if you could hear my mother in a different room. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone before was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed that day. The ceremony was small. I don't want to go back. Slowly, though, the people began to leave my father, my mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit, under a uniform, black umbrella of the funeral attendees, was walking towards us, introducing himself as my grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
What? I couldn't believe my ears. I earned the family estate at 18?
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
That was impossible. Okay. I kinda skipped the rest of that. Okay.
Dear,
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
Hey. No way to talk about your father. Especially when he passed away. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
I wasn't really sure what to say. Why did my grandmother think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
Hey!
David!
Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car. Disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can head back to the farm. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty save for the solemn-looking grave that lay in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the day they passed away? Wow. Everything was done in one day? Dang. There. Everyone knew my grandfather slept for twice, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting up flowers. Gee, thanks, Father. Couldn't even give Grandpa some flowers? The disdain from my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong, but right now, I'm the furthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said he's not feeling too good again. It always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah. So, what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we should go.
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes. Ooh, is it a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them, but I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile. I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing though.
So, what do you
its chest should light up when you hug it. It'd be like it's alive, and it can be more like a nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering the input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though. Helping someone out is always the best feeling in the world. At least it is in my opinion. But anyways, let's continue.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me, eye level, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him, but I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first and then pointed to my chest.
So stay strong. Promise?
For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face. And he was all smiles again. He was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
Alright then, enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
Yeah, I never knew any of my grandfathers, so it's kind of sad. You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it? Especially after this. A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person was no longer there. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions. Especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I gonna do? What am I doing? Talking to a grave? My vision blurred, and I suddenly realized I was crying. My face heated up and tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later, Grandpa. I miss you. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave you, even if the world might be turned against me. I know I said part of that wrong, but yeah, I'll just go with it. I left the grave wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure if that was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Gathering my courage, I decided that it was time to talk. Dad, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why do you want me to move into the estate so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes? Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's a sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
Gee, thanks. That's encouraging. I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
I don't like people who decide my future for me. Because then it's like, it's what they want to do, but can't for some reason. It's like, I want to do something that I want to do, not what someone else wants me to do, so I don't like people like that. That's what bugs me about this guy. But what if...
Stop mumbling!
But what if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
He came closer to me and his face softened.
This is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
It's like nothing even happened at all. You just ignored the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
What did he ever do to you to deserve this? My father, his face hardened and crossed his arms, and erupted in angry laughter.
Ha! You sure place him upon a pedestal, like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me sick.
Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead? While everyone is grieving, were you holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lie in the graveyard? A flash of rage crossed my father's face as he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek.
You
Ow.
don't know anything! Running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut! You did not know my father! You did not know what he was capable of!
Okay, but still no need to slap somebody.
Is everything all right? What happened?
Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I'll just go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
I quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants. For a while, I just leaned against the door to my bedroom, and just laying down against it. How did things become like this? My cheek throbbed and I reluctantly stood up and looked at the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. Yeah, what am I saying? Tears formed in the corners of my eyes, but I blinked them away rapidly. I couldn't cry for the second time today. I had to be stronger than that.
Are you alright? Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
I'm fine, I just lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though. And I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs and eat later.
You're not telling me the whole story.
I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this.
I wanted to tell her. A part of me was screaming to tell her what Dad had done. But at the same time, I knew she couldn't fix anything. Besides, I was moving out regardless. I remained silent, letting the event remain in the past.
Well, I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Finally, my mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a single door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off of what just happened. Anything would be better than thinking any more about the pain still radiating from my cheek. I was going to move into my grandfather's house tomorrow. I should probably pack my stuff so I would be prepared for it tomorrow. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. I opened the closet, rummaging around for a while before I finally found 2 large bags. Pulling them out and laying them on the floor, I began to empty my drawers and cabinets so that I could bring all my things with me. I didn't have too much to bring other than clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre that I didn't have many personal belongings. Come on. Sorry. Don't know why I was acting so weird. I shook my head to rid myself of those thoughts. If it were going to be my new home, it would have to feel like it. One way or another, I was going to make it a home. Just as I was packing my things, my cell phone began ringing and vibrating in my pocket. I slid my phone out of my pocket and answered it, while slowly easing myself onto the bed. Who could possibly be calling?
Hey, Anderson, you there? Is everything alright? We were worried about you, so we decided to call. Hello?
I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
Well, I slowly began to tell them about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed. When I was done recounting what had happened, to my relief, Naomi spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. My dad is in a good mood, so we can just keep talking on the phone like this.
Of course! We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn. Right, Suzu?
Yeah. We're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
Yeah.
Triple threat trio? That sounds like the name of a gang.
That does. Oh, but it's a great name, the Triple T.
Yeah. I mean, we're all taking on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously.
What's with you and naming things?
You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind the cool kids like Anderson and me. Tisk tisk.
Hey! I'm a cool kid. If anything, I'd say you'd have to step up your game.
We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I had forgotten about the events that day and was engaged in a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show. Some program called Herlock. Well, we all agreed that the actor playing the titular character certainly had a very distinctive look about him, with that long overcoat and scarf wrapped around his neck. We had many disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. Yeah, he really has high cheekbones. His eyes are pretty, though I do have to say I prefer Jetson, and as a bonus, actor is just so sassy. I looked at the clocking on the wall and recognized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1 a.m. Sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow, at school tomorrow. I should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late just to talk to my friends. But it was really nice. Oh, to the bathroom I go. I took a relaxing shower, nothing beat hot water and the feeling of being clean. After drying myself, I promptly dressed in my pajamas and crawled into bed. Nice hot shower after a long day. So glad I finally got to bed. It had been a really long day. And I knew that I was wishing for something to change back in class. But I certainly wasn't expecting any of the things that happened that day. Any of the things that happened today. And I have to go back to school tomorrow. Ugh. I curled up on my side and wrapped the blankets tightly around me. I really wasn't in the mood to be returning to school, but my dad would probably make me go, just for the sake of it. It's time to go to sleep. I reached out my lamp on my nightstand and turned off the lights. However, my mind was so lost in the passing of my grandfather and the thought of inheriting something so big. It haunted my mind the entire night until the next morning. Nah. I shook my head trying to clear the sleepiness out of me to no avail. I really didn't get any sleep last night. It's already time to wake up? Wait, school. As soon as I realized I had to go to school, I slid out of bed and looked at the vanity mirror. That's a relief. Luckily, there was barely a bruise on my cheek. You had to squint to actually see it. I doubt anyone would actually notice it unless they leaned in really close. Breathing outside, I got dressed, took my backpack, and caught the bus to school. It wasn't even hours before everyone had heard the news. I was approached school and given condolences for my loss. However, that wasn't what shocked my friends.
Wait, so you have the whole Anderson house to yourself? Lucky as hell, man! Quit being so sensitive, Naomi.
Quit being so vulgar, Suzu.
It's pretty nice I got the house, but I think Naomi's right.
Oh, man, come on!
See, she knows about proper public taste.
I know how to be a lady. Sheesh.
Guys, I'm going there after school today because my parents want me to get used to living there.
Seriously? It hasn't even been a day since you came back to school.
I know, but my parents want me to try living there as soon as possible.
Still, that's really fast. Are you going to be okay?
Of course. But even the comfort of my best friends life seemed to keep testing me. Oof.
Hey! Don't go around shoving people like that.
Whoops. Did I strike a nerve, Capini?
Oh, you. She let out a small laugh as she twirled her hair around her finger. Was that one of the last people I wanted to see today?
It's not me you should be apologizing to.
Oh, Anderson. Hey, how's it going?
I'm alright.
Haven't you already heard, Lizette?
Of what?
Her grandfather's passing.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't really watch a lot of news.
It doesn't really sound like you mean it.
I do mean it. Earnestly. Why wouldn't I?
Typical Capini. Isn't her family involved with the mafia or something? I wouldn't be surprised if she brought out a bat from behind her back right this moment.
I had nearly forgotten the crowd that followed Lizette, which was mostly compressed of people who no one wanted to see on a typical school day.
That is out of line! Suzu comes from an honest family.
Says the one whose family profits from political scandals.
What?
Yeah, your dad doesn't make anything unless he's in the court with dirty politicians.
Ah, okay, these girls are way out.
Hey, let's all calm down for a second, alright? I'm sure Anderson needs some time to recuperate. I mean, what just happened? We need to give her some respect.
Just stop. Stop acting like that already. Like you feel sorry for me.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're happy seeing me like this. You already have everything you've ever wanted, and now seeing me like this, life couldn't get any better. Bitterness seeped into me. Words started flying out of my mouth without filter. But honestly, I didn't care. I was so consumed by anger that I only saw Lisette in front of me. What exactly am I? What exactly am I to you? Just another part of your obstacle course? Is that what I am? I'm sick of it, Lisette. I'm sick of all these charades. I'm sick of you. Gas rose from the crowd around her, and I was brought back to the school hallway. Even my best friends looked at me in surprise. One girl looked like she was going to speak up, but Lisette held up her hand to stop her. There was an emotion on her face I couldn't quite make out, but I could see a form of pity in her eyes. Don't you dare pity me. I looked away from her. I didn't want to see that emotion in her eyes when she was talking to me. She didn't have the right to look at me that way.
I'm sorry. I know your grandfather passing away must have really taken a toll on your emotions.
She stepped towards me, put her hand on my shoulder, giving me a tiny smile, as if for old time's sake. But for some reason, I didn't feel comforted at all. Not that I was just angry at her, but the expression on her face as she leaned in close to me contorted into something complex. Something was different about her. I couldn't quite place my finger on it, but there was something different about her. Something about her definitely changed.
Well, I'll be going for now. Track meet responsibilities and all of that stuff. See you later.
Bye, Lisette. Okay. Something about Lisette made me feel uncomfortable. I wasn't just angry, but also uneasy. What was it? I'd never seen her like that before. But I decided to pay no further attention to it. She continued running down the hallway, her gaggle of friends behind her. I refocused my attention to Miss Phillip, who was walking down the hall towards me.
Is everything all right, girls?
Nothing we couldn't handle, Mrs. P. Just a bunch of snobs.
Suzu, hush! It was nothing, Mrs. Phillips.
I see. Well, Miss Anderson, please accept my condolences for your loss.
Thank you, Miss Phillips.
Your grandfather was a good man. He really upheld the philanthropy of his company's policies, and the money that went towards charity, too.
I know, he was amazing. I really looked up to him, and I want to be as good as he was.
Well, I know that you'll be as great as your grandfather.
Hell yeah, she will. She'll be 10 times better than her grandfather.
Would I really be better than my grandfather? Everyone seemed to have high expectations for me. Oh. I'll just go back to that. Every once in a while, I wanted to do my best to make my family proud, but to be better than my grandfather? I wasn't sure about that. From outside the school window, I saw a familiar blue car pull up to the curb. Undoubtedly, there was my father in the driver's seat. Oh, my ride's here. Well, I guess I'll see you both tomorrow.
Want us to come with you?
Oh no, it's okay. I'll be fine. See you later. I know I added the word there. Sorry. I did.
Hey, honey.
As I got into the car, I noticed my father looked troubled, clutching the steering wheel and staring straight ahead, as if something were really bothering him.
About what happened yesterday. I'm sorry for yelling at you. Does your cheek still hurt?
No, it's nothing to worry about.
I mean it. I shouldn't have laid a finger on you. You know that you're my most precious daughter. You're all that I have.
Yeah, he couldn't bring himself to say what he could never say to me for such a long time. I always wanted to hear those words to affirm how he really felt, but I guess even now he couldn't say it to me. I turned my head to look out the window. There was no point in waiting for something that was never going to come. And just like that, he started to drive. The conversation between us ended. I decided to focus my attention on the passing scenery. We were taking the usual route to grandfather's house. It was located in the vicinity of the school district, but it was still pretty far from the school where our house was. He had always lived alone, insisting on doing things by himself, even at his age, living in such a large house. I wondered, did he pass away with no one at his side as well? It sounded so lonely and sad. It was strange that he decided living alone in his large estate. If anything, he could have lived with us, though he and my father would probably have given each other the silent treatment the entire time. Maybe living alone was perfect and preferable to that. I actually hadn't visited him in quite a while. Visits to his house were most frequent when I was a child, and I had grown up since then. Last time I visited, though, he looked just as he was, happy and healthy. But things changed, and in the back of my mind, I knew he would have to leave one day. It wasn't like humans could live forever. So why did my heart feel so heavy? The car ride was spent mostly in silence until he spoke up
How
again.
was school? Maintaining your grades, I hope.
Of course, that's all you think about, isn't it? Yeah, I've been trying to do my best so far.
Trying? That's not really doing the best you can, is it?
Picky. With my father, only some words I said were filtered through his ears. It was difficult to keep a conversation without eventually talking about economics or my future, even if it was something loosely based on it. He was always finding a way to interrogate it whenever we talked.
Anyway, your belongings are in the trunk. There isn't a lot, so I'm sure you can manage bringing them inside the house. After all, you are on the road to being independent now.
Yes, I can manage on my own. The usual silence resumed between us. I really wasn't sure what to say around him, especially when most of the time we didn't share the same opinions. One question did linger in my mind, though, and if he was going to justify acting so nonchalantly at grandfather's funeral, I at least had the right to know why. No, we'll just leave it alone. There's no point. There's no use in talking about it with him. It'd be like reopening a wound or replying a bruise. I thought I gave him a sideways glance out of curiosity, but I didn't pursue it further. Typical. I leaned against the car door, stared out the window. I couldn't really think. What would this place be like? I had been to my grandfather's house before, but it was one thing visiting, and it was another thing actually living there. How would I manage living on my own without any training or training to really care for a house? I knew that naturally the bills would be paid by my parents, who inherited grandfather's stocks in the corporation, but I never lived independently before. Thinking about it made me feel some kind of bird being pushed out of the nest, though technically an adult. I felt unprepared and a bit daunted at the prospect of actually moving into my own place. Most people my age would be ecstatic at moving out. After all, it would symbolize some kind of change in their lives, like being on the road to independence. But I felt like it was nothing of the sort. I really hoped I wouldn't let my parents down. I wouldn't want to let grandfather down. What would he be saying right now? I guess about the passing clouds. If you're out there, grandfather, how would you be doing? Would there be anything you'd tell me at this moment? And of course there was no answer. What was I doing? Searching for an answer in the heavens that would or would not exist? Either way, I found myself being driven off to my new home. The car rolled to a stop, and I drifted out of my thoughts.
Here we are. Go on in.
Alright, tell Mom I love her.
All right.
I love you, Dad. You can't even say it back? Come on, dude. No, make sure you come by and visit us often. No, I'm gonna miss you lots. Nothing but a blank stare. I paused a bit before reaching for the door handle, waiting for any form of goodbye, but he didn't speak again. I side exited the car. Here my dad popped the trunk. I saw 2 large bags I had packed the night before that were large enough to carry. Only the things I needed. I took them out and placed one bag on each shoulder and closed the trunk. He then drove off, leaving me alone in front of the mansion. I watched the blue car fade into the distance before turning to see my new home. There it is. It's huge. My grandfather gave me this. The house was framed by a set of tall gates, and I hesitantly put them aside to take in the estate. The house stood like it was when I last visited him. At glance, it seemed kind of intimidating with its size, though if I came closer, it was clear that it was more than that. The brick walls were framed by shrubbery and lovely flowers. They gave a homey, welcoming look. But in contrast, the tall doors into the house gave me a feeling of grandeur. Who knew what would be waiting for me, but I wouldn't back down at this moment. I took out the key from the front doors and unlocked them. Might as well make myself at home. I'll be staying here quite a while anyways. That's when I saw them. Lying on the floor were a group of men. They were all unconscious, but there was no explanation as to why they were there in the first place. I dropped my bags as I let the door close on its own behind me. Okay, I think I'll end it right here because this has gone on quite a while. Plus, I'll have to edit this together with the first one, so it's going to be over an hour already. So, anyways, that was the first part. I'll be continuing on to the next part soon, hopefully. And, well, I'll see you all in the next part. Or, well, the next video, whenever I make. Please subscribe or like or leave a comment to let me know what you think and if you would like to see more of this. And anyways, I guess that's it. Except for you not to forget to stay your beautiful, unique, one of a kind selves. And I guess that's it.